Welcome to Busted Speakers. I'm Kush.
And I'm your boy, Alex. You love me, you hate me, deal with it. I don't know what that intro was.
Um, yeah, that's Alex. So today we're gonna be hearing "Automation" by Jamiroquai, and I hope I said that right. Don't crucify me. Poor Alex got crucified in another review.
Can't get over it. Cannot get over it. Nah, I'm over it.
um, so
I say that, maybe not.
I've heard a lot about Jamiroquai. I've never really listened to a full project just because I don't have an excuse. I just never did. And this one was okay. I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm a big Jamiroquai fan, just to say.
I mean,
I think I've mentioned in many reviews, I'm a huge funk fan. And weirdly, Jamiroquai is actually the best funk artist of the 90s when you think about it.
Yeah, so I was
Out
about to
there
say
making solid funk albums.
I was about to say that if you like funk, you'll like this, and Alex loves funk.
Oh man, Jamiroquai are basically one of the most popular bands from the 90s in the UK. I think they were quite popular in the US as well, but they were getting top 10 singles in the UK. Any of their albums dirt cheap in any charity or Goodwill shops, any used CD shops. Get their whole discography for a couple of dollars, no problem.
So
This is as good as party music gets, I'd say. It's just weird to me that Jamiroquai are like the best funk. I know Beck made a kind of funk album in '98 called Midnight Vultures, but when you think about it, in the '90s, there was kind of gangsta funk in the instrumentals and some rap songs, but that was just the funk they were sampling. Jamiroquai, they're really keeping funk alive, and we consider they're all guys, I guess. I guess they can funk too, play that funky music, white boy and all that, but it's pretty cool, and I think they're as good in 2017 as they ever were in the 90s, I'd say.
So for me, I like funk music, but I'm not very. What was the word I'm looking for? I'm not very familiar with it, I guess. So a lot of these songs were very similar to me in terms of just like composition and the style of bass playing and stuff. So they were very similar. But there were some really good songs that I really enjoyed on here too. I want to say Nights Out in the Jungle was one of my favorite songs. I loved how they added the animal sound effects.
We have a problem here.
You don't like it?
Well, I know. I'd say without that bass line, this song is completely disposable, complete trash in the bin. I don't like it. The animal sound effects are weird and
I thought it was fun.
It's not normal.
It isn't normal, but I thought it was
fun for
interesting.
Me. It's just weird. This feels like it tries to be a loose jam, an experiment that doesn't quite work out. As if they're trying to make a new genre, like experimental funk. That's not really a genre, is it?
Never heard of
but
that.
By virtue of it at least being a little bit interesting. But I just think without the bass line, I don't think anyone would like this, because that's the only normal instrument. I'm just not looking for experimental tracks like this when it comes to Jamiroquai. I'm sorry, I'm looking for very, very low-level party music. I didn't like that song.
I don't know. I thought it was fun to listen to. I enjoy it just because it was really weird and really quirky. I like
Key noises annoyed me, I have to say. I don't like them.
I really enjoyed the song Vitamin. That was also really good.
That was pretty solid.
That was more fast and energetic, and they had these eclectic horns that really just made the song slightly more interesting than what it already was. But besides
lyrics
that,
on the album for me, Vitamin. just because it says like you don't need no vitamin to have good fun, which might be a loose metaphor for obviously taking speed or other upper drugs to have a better time at a party. I'm a true believer that you can get high off of your own energy to have a good time at something, obviously.
Oh yeah, you definitely could. You don't need a...
Definitely. But some people do feel like they need it to have a great time at a party or a club. I just feel like if that's the meaning behind this, I really get behind that. And obviously it's talking about getting high off the energy of a woman he's dancing with, which is fine as well, obviously. But there's saxophone and piano on it as well. Song, and I thought that the lineup of songs from Nights Out in the Jungle, Dr. Buzz, which is another song I have a slight problem with, and the like generic We Can Do It. I thought this got the album back on the right track. Vitamin.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy Dr. Buzz and We Can Do It, but I enjoyed Nights Out in the Jungle.
Okay, well, we've spoken about that. We have our disagreements. Dr. Buzz is like complete filler, I'd say. Like,
yeah,
definition of filler. They made a 6-minute song centered around loose generic lyrics about this Dr. Buzz guy just to fill space. It's not good. Stream of consciousness lyrics. There's nothing. At the end, this song is completely disposable as well, I'd say. First 4 or so minutes are complete. May as well not be there. And this is a problem with a lot of Jamiroquai albums. They have a lot of filler. This is nothing new. I was expecting this many non-good songs on here.
Another 2 songs I actually enjoyed was
it's nothing new.
Shake It On was pretty good, the opening track.
Yeah, that's a good song. I love that song.
It reminded me a lot like it was more synthy with drum machines. It wasn't really super funky. It was more electronic based, I guess.
I don't know. I heard this with a friend, and he said this sounded like a Stevie Wonder track. Like J.K., who's the lead vocalist's vocals, sounded completely like him. And I don't blame him. He sounds really soulful and really funky, basically. I mean, after 7 years of no music, they make a song like Shake It On, which is the best party funk jam I've heard in ages. The only slight negative I have, and this is true of most songs, is I do detect some slight use of auto-tune.
Yeah,
some of these songs can create interesting vocal effects. It's like in his late 40s now, I think, maybe more mid 40s. He probably does need it, but my favourite song on here is definitely the title track, I'd say. What did you think of it?
I did not like
Automaton.
I didn't like it.
What's wrong with us? Oh, I love this song. It's the most interesting on here.
It is interesting.
Without
I just felt like
becoming as stupid. Look, this is experimental. It is not experimental to make a stupid bass line and animal noises. This is a solid disco jam.
I don't know. I felt like
great.
I felt like the vocals and the electronics.
It's like a Daft Punk song.
I wrote very Daft Punk-esque, but my problem with this song is that the vocals didn't really mesh with the instrumentation. I felt like they were just overtaking too much, and there was too much going on, and like it wasn't flowing very well together. It was like some parts were just kind of overruling other parts and just kind of diminishing their value.
You can see that he does sound kind of out of sync with the instrumental, but I love that. I love that. So I like it just how there's so much vocal distortion, machine robotic voices, electronic blips over and over. And Kush, you're not alone in thinking that. This song was reasonably unpopular with a lot of Jamiroquai's fans.
Yeah, a lot.
Fans of experimental electronic music. Yeah, and this has a lot of comments on its YouTube video saying, "What I doing?" So you're not alone. I'm in a slight minority in loving this song. But, oh man, this groove is disco heaven to me. I love it. I love the weird sound effects.
It's very, I would say, polarizing is this album. Because from what I've read online...
It is, in a way.
The people who like Jamiroquai are not the biggest. They're not super crazy about this album, but people who
No, the people who like weird disco music, new disco, that started with like Random Access Memories by Daft Punk. You get other people like Todd Day, I think. He has an album called It's Album Time. Came out in 2014. I mean, if you like bubblegum bass, which I think we mentioned in the Charlie XCX review, is like weird experimental pop music, it's not that far off of this. I just think this is a great song. It shows me that they're willing to experiment with their sound. And I know I slammed Nights Out in the Jungle for this, but this still feels like a solid disco song to me. It doesn't feel like a weird piss-take experiment.
Well then we're just gonna have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, we'll agree to disagree, but we have to. Here's the thing: this album, this is weird. I got a copy of this just because I'm still a guy who buys CDs. Maybe I'm at fault for that, but I still enjoy it. And when I was looking for this album in stores, this was nowhere to be found. This was selling like hotcakes. This is guaranteed #1 album in the UK. Because it's the first time I've ever seen a CD album sold out.
Maybe he only printed 10.
No, there was definitely there was at least 3 sections, of at least 50 in his store. Doesn't sound like that much, but they probably had more than that and they restocked it.
That's actually really impressive.
Find a copy.
Especially
this will be a big seller.
Especially with people who don't CDs aren't as popular anymore, so that's impressive.
That's true. Well, Jamiroquai are the ultimate epitome of a CD band. You'll find their whole discography on CD used.
Yeah, but honestly,
there's lots. I thought there was quite a few good songs on here other than those two.
I like Something About
Cloud
You.
Nine. Oh, that's a pretty good one. Cloud 9 as well.
Cloud 9 was my favorites. I think that was probably the most funk-driven song for me that I just really enjoyed.
Which one?
Cloud 9.
It was, but I thought it was a bit slower paced as well, which
Yes,
is
it was.
quite good.
Something About You was pretty good. That reminded me of I don't remember which song, but something on Gambino's last album.
Well, that had a load of funk songs.
Yeah, it did. Which I thoroughly enjoyed that. That's one of my favorite albums of last year, so I don't know.
That album is probably a little bit better than this, let's be honest, but that's because that's just more consistent and it's closer to the actual original sound of funk music, I'd say.
Well, I don't even think that. I think the problem with this album
I don't know.
was that this album had a lot of filler tracks, whereas that album had a lot of it might not have been filler tracks, but it was very diverse in what it was doing. Every song was different. Every song was memorable.
Yeah, because California is mental. That song, I'd say.
That's probably the most polarizing song of last year, California.
Right.
Either you love it or you hate it, and I think I hated it at first, but now I'm in love with it. I think it's just so much fun to listen to. But
just going back to Something About You, this reminds me so much of another song by Jamiroquai, which is on their 2001 album. It's called You Give Me Something. Almost to the point where he's saying the exact same thing. Something about you / you give me something. He's basically saying there's something about this girl that does something to him, basically. It's the exact same, except it's done in a different way, slightly.
Yeah, the lyrics I
don't mind,
pretty
though,
forgettable.
Good. Okay, a problem I had was Hot Property.
Yeah.
I don't want to, talk about a song. I don't think this song is objectifying women. I don't. I do think it is, I do think he does have respect for women, JK. To his fan base. That's the people I can see buying this are 35-year-old women in the UK who remember when they were first out. This just... I know I talked about the robot voices on the title track as if they were really, really good, but I'm pretty sure there's some weird robot voices on this that just do not work. Plus, I don't understand the significance of that, like, foreign-speaking girl in the middle of this. As if since the girl can't understand, she's just hot property. I don't know. Bear in mind that funk is about being sexually loose. So song metaphors like this are to be expected, I'd say. Like, James Brown, this is, like, tame compared to the stuff he was saying.
Last song I want to discuss was Super Fresh.
Oh yeah, well that's where I was like convinced that this would have some filler on it.
Yeah, that was a super filler track, and like he goes, "I want to rock with," or "I want you to rock with me, baby," and then just goes Super Fresh.
Oh
Like,
man, this is the type of song they could churn out in their sleep. Filler.
I didn't understand the point of it, but fine. It still sounded decent. It was like iconic disco music.
Also, there's a Carla, which I thought was pretty decent. You know, it's just a nice keyboard chord structure. The guitars are funky sounding. Vocals from JK. Plus, unlike other songs on here that have nameless lovers, it's nice to have a... It's nice to have a song dedicated to what feels like a real woman. He's loose and suave on here as well, referring to himself as, like, Daddy Cool. Which is a bit dodgy, but it's a sweet song in actuality.
So what would you rate
songs
it, Alex?
That much? Oh, okay, right. Here's the thing, I love Shake It On, I love Automaton. I thought Something About You and Cloud9 were pretty good. Filler tracks like Nights Out in the Jungle and Dr. Buzz and... Man, We Can Do It is so... that I can barely talk about it. It's just fills space as a generic funk song. Then again, I really like funk music, so the whole sound of this album really appealed to me. I was slightly disappointed by this. The title track, I thought this would be a weird, experimental, fun disco pop album, and it was only really that on that song. So, I did like it. Really liked it. But I'm gonna give it 6.5, just because for songs, and even then, beyond that, there were too many just weird. I just couldn't get behind that. Without the bass line, that is like the worst song they've ever made, I'd say.
Yeah.
In my mind.
I'm gonna say, for me, this was a 6 out of 10. It was good. There was a few memorable songs, but there was a lot of filler that I just didn't remember. I don't remember it right now as we're talking about it. But
oh dear.
There are some good elements to it, and I do like funk music. I'm not the biggest fan like you are, but I think that there are some good elements to it, and there are some good songs that I did save to my playlist. So I can't really knock it too hard.
Yeah, well, Jamiroquai fans already know that they'll like this, basically. So, no, it's basically the same thing they've been doing for... So, just give it a go. Probably like it. And I think most of their fan base have picked it up, considering how many copies have been shifted in the shops in the UK.
Yeah, I'm gonna... I don't know, did I say my score? I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, 6, yeah. I think you said that.
Okay.
The album's so generic, it's invading your brain, Kush.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, if that's it, then thanks for tuning to Busted Speakers. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Let us know how you feel about this album in the comments below, and check us out on social media.